Joe Greene in Studio B here, where our sessions in Studio B are made possible by Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. Proud to welcome Jobi Riccio to the studio. I said your last name right, didn't I?
Yes, you did a great job.
I was worried about that.
Most people are.
Yeah, well, glad I did. Welcome to Studio B, and you are here today in front of a show tonight at Citizen Vinyl, and we'll talk about that coming up. But I thought maybe start with a song.
Absolutely. Summer is beautiful. I wanna go on a long yellow drive to the end of the road, where the sun sets like butter slipping down warm toast. Summer is beautiful, perfectly made for the snow cone stained children and lovers in lakes. On a warm summer evening in the middle of June, words sound like honey dripping off of a spoon, and the silvery silence a mirror of the moon. I am the moth circle in the porch light. Will you stay with me till morning? Will you give me just this night? You just kiss my forehead and say you have to go, and I feel like lukewarm water, and I feel like nothing at all. So I'll just drive around the blue in suburban streets, trying hard not to think of how the houses all repeat, and the strip malls and the phone calls that are waiting for me when I get home. Summer is beautiful, the air grows hot and sweet. Something's bound to happen, ain't that summer's guaranteed? So how come every summer I get so damn lonely? How come every summer I get so damn lonely? How come every summer I get so damn lonely? How come every summer I get so damn lonely?
Live in Studio B today here on WNCW, Jobi Riccio. That's the song that leads off your album, right?
It is. It's the first track.
Summer.
Yes.
The new album's Whiplash. That is your first full-length album, right?
It is.
And tell us about how then that was recorded in Asheville, right?
Yes, it was. I was going to say
right there at
recorded
Citizen Vinyl.
right down the road. Yeah. So I won a contest called the New Song Music Contest, which is local to Asheville as well. And my prize for winning was to record a project. So I worked with Gar Ragland, who runs the New Song Music contest, and also Citizen Vinyl, the vinyl pressing plant in downtown Asheville. music venue, cafe extraordinaire.
Oh, yeah.
And we worked on my record in the studio that exists in the very top floor of that building. That's actually an old school radio station studio. So, yeah, it was just, the vibes were wonderful. And I was waking up every day in Asheville to the rain and driving into the studio. It was in the spring, so it was like pretty rainy, but it was actually really magical.
Yeah. Well, in Asheville in the spring, you can't rule out snow because occasionally it happens. I've seen it in the first week of May. It's
wow.
just an amazing place.
Yeah.
So congratulations. It's a great record.
Thank you.
11 tunes, I believe. Yeah. How long have you been writing songs? When did you start that?
I started writing when I was a very small child. I think I started writing songs that are worth hearing when I was around 17. But I was making up little melodies here and there about, like, you know, the neighborhood dog down the street. Like, I was doing all sorts of random weird stuff, and my parents were both very encouraging of it, mostly because, you know, they probably thought it was funny and cute. And then they were like, oh, she actually seems pretty into this. And eventually I, started writing things that they were like, oh, that's pretty good. So I then went on to music school in Boston. I went to Berklee School of Music. Yeah. And like actually studied songwriting for the first time. Yeah.
Who were some of your inspirations particularly as you got older and, as you said, started writing more serious songs, I guess, some of your inspirations for that?
Well, I really love, like, Sarah Jarosz and Aoife O'Donovan were two really big influences on me, especially as a teenager. I grew up on country music as a small kid, like listening to country radio. And then I heard Nickel Creek for the first time. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou came out in movie theaters, and I was introduced to the power of bluegrass and roots music and Americana. Gillian Welch also comes to mind. Those were, like, really big for me. Gregory Alan Isakov, who is a Colorado based artist. I am originally from Colorado. Those were really people I listened to constantly. Sheryl Crow, another one.
I saw Sheryl Crow and Joni Mitchell among your
yes
people you admire.
Yeah, both Sheryl Crow and Joni Mitchell have always been huge. Sheryl was obviously very popular when I was young with, like, Soak Up the Sun and My Favorite Mistake, all those songs that I grew up from my childhood in, like, the early 2000s. But then Joni Mitchell, both of my parents just adore Joni Mitchell and would put her on. And, once I hit puberty, I was like, I understand Joni Mitchell's music more, because as a young child, I was like, this is very pretty, but the emotions behind it, I feel like I couldn't access. And then when they hit me, I was like, this woman is a genius.
Right.
I
totally get Joni Mitchell now. Yeah. And all these things, all these emotions and whatnot.
Yeah.
You grew up in Colorado right near Red Rocks, right?
Yes.
So lots of shows there. Did you get to go?
I've seen Alison Krauss there. I saw Vampire Weekend there in high school. I've seen a, big variety of them, but I grew up in the town where the amphitheater is, Morrison, Colorado, and mostly I would hear people sound checking because the way the rocks were, they would, like, reverberate back into the playground of my elementary school, actually, which was also aptly titled Red Rocks Elementary. So the dream has always very much been in the forefront of growing up. Sure.
Was music in the schools there where you grew up? Was it, important? Was it, something that was prominent, I guess is the word I'm looking for, something that was pushed?
No, and that's just due to funding. I had a really lovely music teacher who was also the gym teacher, if that tells you anything about what we were working with in Jefferson County Public Schools. And
your guitar was out of tune. You had to drop and give her 20, right?
Yeah. Seriously. And I had a great art teacher too, who I feel like just really encouraged me to be creative and to be interested in art in all capacities. I was very much one of those kids who sat in the art room at lunch and, like, hung out with the teacher
Oh,
and drew and, daydreamed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Berkeley was a fun experience for you.
Absolutely. Very challenging and very fun experience.
Eye-opening, maybe?
Definitely. Yeah.
New dimensions to the music and everything?
I had never really learned how to read music on a page until I went to Berkeley, since I was self-taught mostly, and I got really into bluegrass too, and it was not about, it's about just calling the chords in the jam, not like what note, you're using numbers half the time for the chords. You're not even talking about the letter names. So it was a big learning curve for me, but I'm proud of myself for getting through it, and I learned a lot.
Is that a Martin box you're playing there?
Mm-hmm.
Go, girl.
Yeah,
there
this
you
is Martin D35 right here.
It sounds really sweet in my headphones. It really does. And I was looking at the headstock, and I was like, that's got to be a Martin. I can't read it from here.
Yeah.
But I knew it had to be. Did you pick up the guitar first? Was that your first instrument?
Yes. I did piano lessons as a little kid, but I don't know what it is about it, but it just didn't stick for me. I never wanted to practice, and I just wanted to play guitar so that I could learn how to play songs by the Chicks and Leanne Rimes and the stuff that I was interested in.
Yeah.
So my sister had this first act blue beater guitar with 3 strings on it for children that I would play and make up songs on. But then I got my actual first guitar when I was 12.
Cool deal.